Good buddy， 大家好，欢迎收看成长汉语。Welcome back to another episode of Growing Up with Chinese. Now, did last show's computer vocabulary settle into a more permanent spot in your heads? Technical vocabulary can be a bit tough to tackle just because it isn't necessarily something you use every day. However, computers and the internet are certainly a big part of many people's daily routines, so I'm glad we got the chance to cover some of the basics in Chinese. Now, today's topic is a bit more lighthearted. We'll be talking about music. But before we go any further, let's check in with our fabulous trio and see just exactly what it is they're up to.
对了，有一首歌特别好听，叫 Nobody， 你听过吗？
Nobody， 没听过，谁唱的？
你肯定听过，我把音乐放出来你就知道了。
哦，这首歌听过。最近这首 Nobody 特别流行。
是啊，我们女生都特别喜欢这首歌。
对了，兰兰，你是谁的粉丝啊？
我最爱听 S.H.E 的歌，他们出了新专辑，咱们听听吧。你挑一首。
这么多新歌，我都不知道听哪首才好。
哼，我看看，我最喜欢听这首。
这也就你们女孩喜欢听，我可不行。
哼，小明，无论你喜不喜欢，我都是他们的铁杆粉丝。
好，你做你的铁杆粉丝吧，我去打球了。
哎，小明，你回来。好吧，我不听了。你喜欢听谁的歌？
我觉得 Michael Jackson 歌最好听。
Michael Jackson， 他的歌好老啊！
哎呀，什么老？那叫经典。我最喜欢那首 Here's the World。
哦，我想起来了，上次联欢会你表演的就是这首 Here's the World 吧？
没错。
Michael Jackson 还有什么好听的歌吗？
那太多了。They don't really care about us， 听过吗？
我没听过。
这里就有，放给你听。
好啊。
Sharing music is always fun. You know, I often find that my friends listen to a lot of music that I wouldn't necessarily think to listen to or think to buy, but I enjoy listening to it a lot. Okay, let's take a closer look at what was said during today's clip. 你肯定听过，我把音乐放出来你就知道了。You've definitely heard this before. Let me play it out loud and you'll know it. 肯定 means definitely or certainly. 放 in the context of music means to play. 放音乐 to play music. 我把音乐放出来 let me play the music as in play it out loud. 最近这首 Nobody 特别流行. The song Nobody has been really popular recently. 最近 is recently, and 首 we've covered before, remember? It's the measure word for song. 流行 means popular. 特别流行 very popular or especially popular.
Nobody， 没听过，谁唱的？
你肯定听过，我把音乐放出来你就知道了。
哦，这首歌听过。最近这首 Nobody 特别流行。
是啊，我们女生都特别喜欢这首歌。 That's right, all of us girls at school really like this song. Now, 女生 means girls, but specifically, 女生 refers to girls of school age. 对了，兰兰，你是谁的粉丝啊？ By the way, 兰兰, who are you a fan of? 粉丝 means fan, and yes, this Chinese word comes from the English word 粉丝 fan. 你是谁的粉丝？ Who are you a fan of?
是啊，我们女生都特别喜欢这首歌。
对了，兰兰，你是谁的粉丝啊？
我最爱听 S.H.E 的歌，他们出了新专辑，咱们听听吧。
小明，无论你喜不喜欢，我都是他们的铁杆粉丝。小明 whether you like them or not, I will always be their loyal fan. 铁杆 means loyal. Now the character grouping for this word is quite interesting. 铁 means iron, and 杆 can mean rod or stick. So if you're someone's iron stick or iron rod, you're loyal. So 铁杆粉丝 is loyal fan.
这么多新歌，我都不知道听哪首才好。
哼，我看看，我最喜欢听这首。
这也就你们女孩喜欢听，我可不喜欢。
哼，小明，无论你喜不喜欢，我都是他们的铁杆粉丝。
Michael Jackson, 他的歌好老啊。His songs are really old. 好老 is the same as saying 很老, but it carries a little bit more emphasis. 什么老？那叫经典。Come on, old schmold. It's called classic. Okay, 什么老 is like saying, what are you talking about, old? Or old schmold. You don't know what you're talking about.
好吧，好吧，我不听了。你喜欢听谁的歌？
我觉得 Michael Jackson 歌最好听。
Michael Jackson， 他的歌好老啊。
哎呀，什么老？那叫经典。我最喜欢那首 Here's the World。
哦，我想起来了，上次联欢会你表演的就是这首 Here's the World 吧？
没错。
All right, that basically wraps up today's coverage of our dialogue. So now let's get into some more specifics. Okay, let's take a look at today's vocabulary first, and then we'll move into our radical of the day. 流行 popular. 流行粉丝 fan, as in to be a fan of something or someone. 粉丝挑 to select, pick. 挑经典 classic, classical. 经典 Okay, it's time for all of you to perk your ears. It's radical time, and today we're talking about none other than the ear radical. Our ear. So here's the character that we are talking about. That's the character for ear. Now we see it as a radical in one of today's vocabulary words. 联欢会的联, the 联 of 联欢会, get together, or party. So let's get that up in radical form. 联. Now, on its own, 联 means to unite, combine, or join. Not a meaning that has too much to do with one's ears, but really not all characters get their meanings from their radicals. Here are some other ones that have the ear radical. 聋 deaf. 闻 hear, news, story, or smell. 聊 to chat. When I travel, there are two things I always make sure I do. The first thing is I always make sure to eat some local food. I love different flavors. And the second thing is I always make sure to listen to some local music, whether it's classical, traditional, or popular. You can discover a lot about a culture from its food and music. Now, as far as music goes in China, when you're here, you absolutely have to see a Beijing opera performance. Hands down, there's nothing like it. Now, before we go into details, I just want to clarify something. Chinese opera is a general term for the many different forms of traditional opera you find around the country, and there are many, like upwards of 30. Now, the origin of Chinese opera can be traced back all the way to the 3rd century. So we're talking about an art form that is very, very old and one that developed into many variations over the years. Beijing opera is one of the most notable regional forms of Chinese opera, and its origins can be traced back to the late 18th century. Okay, now that that's all cleared up, let's focus on Beijing opera. What a spectacle! In a nutshell, Beijing opera combines dance, song, mime, acrobatics, and music. So most theatrical bases are covered in this art form. If you want to be a professional Beijing opera performer, you start training at a very, very young age. We've got 3 language points to go over today, and we'll start with 才好. 才 emphasizes certainty, and 才好 is used at the end of a sentence, typically with a question coming before it. It's used to indicate what kind of choice will satisfy someone, or what the best way is to go about something. For example, 我怎么说才好? What's the right way to say this? Or how can I say this in the best way possible? 今天去哪儿才好? Where's the best place to go today? We see it in today's dialogue this way. 我都不知道听哪首才好. I'm not sure which is the best song to listen to. As in, there's so many choices, which should I pick?
这么多书，都不知道看哪本才好。
你先看这本吧。
你说我送哪件给兰兰才好呢？
这件吧，多漂亮啊！
We've got a language pattern to go over. 无论 something, 都. We see this pattern in a conditional compound sentence, and it expresses that no matter the conditions or the situation, the result or results won't change. For example, 无论你在哪儿，我都会想你. No matter where you are, I will always think of you.
无论多危险，我都要试一试。
你自己试吧。
你喜欢什么音乐？
无论什么音乐，我都喜欢。
And finally, let's take a quick look at 最. 最 implies the most, or the max. 最喜欢, like the most. 最好听, best sounding. 最坏, the worst. 最爱, favorite.
你最喜欢什么运动？
当然是打篮球了。
好了，我们今天的时间不多了. We don't have much time left today. I love talking about music. It's such a wonderful thing. Now, if any of you are interested in hearing some Chinese songs, they're all over the internet. So feel free to do some exploring. And on that note, I hope you all had a fun time today. Don't forget, you can always check out our website when you get the chance to review or just to check it out. 我希望你们都是成长汉语的粉丝. Have a great day or evening, depending on where you are in the world, and I shall see you all next time. 大家加油，下次见。